16 minutes to go here in the first half. It's now 10-4 in favor of Marshall over Georgia State. Let's go courtside with Madison Cruz. Maddie?
Thanks, guys. Tonight, it's a battle of momentum as the Marshall Thundering Herd are riding high after securing their first road win of the season against Coastal Carolina. Head coach Corny Jackson said that he's proud of the way that the guys responded in that match, and he couldn't be prouder of them. Meanwhile, the Panthers are looking to snap a 2-game losing streak and get back on track in front of their home fans here at the GSU Convocation Center, where the Panthers are 3-0 at home. It's a matchup with plenty at stake as both teams look to turn their fortunes around. It's Education Day here at the Convo. We have around 1,700 students here in attendance to watch the Panthers finish out the rest of their conference schedule. One senior being celebrated today is none other than Cesar Edwards. Cesar had his 6th double-double of the season in that win against Old Dominion on Thursday. Head coach Jonas Hayes told me that he has been great in the leadership department for the Panthers, and you can see that every time he's on the court. It's Pink Day here at the GSU Convocation Center, and the Panthers were sporting these t-shirts in their warm-up and are also wearing pink basketball shoes on the court today in honor for Play 4K and the K. Yao Cancer Foundation.
One thing that sticks out to me is points off of turnover. Georgia State with 12, while James Madison only has 2. They've capitalized, and a lot of that has to do with those 2 steals from Crystal Henderson coming in and just forcing JMU to make those turnovers, make those mistakes. And they're capitalizing on it. They're getting 12 points off of those turnovers. And then obviously you look at the rebounds. We know that James Madison is second in the Sun Belt in rebounds per game. They already have 27, where Georgia State only has 11. That's something that's going to be so key, especially as you look for the rest of the game from JMU.
I had the opportunity to catch up with Sean O'Regan right before the start of the third quarter. He told me that he wants the Dukes to stop turning over the ball. They've had a lot of mistakes, and as we mentioned in the halftime, the Panthers had over 12 points off of those turnovers. He wants them to stop fouling, and he also chatted with Peyton McDaniel and wants to get her more involved in the game. Coach, a back-and-forth game for you guys. How did you keep your team focused?
Well, we just talked about one possession at a time. We knew we went through a little scoring drought there in the third period, but we had some shots that we felt like went in and then came out. But the main thing we've been talking about is defensively. So we just got to continue to hang our hats on defense, continue to make them take tough shots, and then eventually the shots will come.
Coach, congrats on the win. What was key to the win tonight for you guys?
We played with an unbelievable amount of effort and urgency. I'm telling you, that makes the difference for us now. We let them get a couple of offensive rebounds in the second half, but for the most part, we played a complete game how we want to play, with a high level of urgency, high level of effort, high level of concentration. We had a great attitude.
Cesar Edwards had a double-double for the Panthers tonight. What is his impact both offensively and defensively for the team?
I can't put it into words. He's a phenomenal basketball player. He's one of the 2 or 3 best bigs in this league, I believe. I'm glad he's on my team.
Going into Saturday's game, how do you keep the guys focused and ready for Saturday's big game?
Yeah, we're just going to enjoy the night. We'll get to Saturday when Saturday comes.
One game at a time, Coach.
And one game at a time.
Awesome, thank you. Coach, what do you need to do in order to regain the lead in the second half?
Well, we got to play defense without fouling. We got to rebound, and then we got to stay out of foul trouble. We gave them too many free throws, and then we had to put some of our better players on the bench because of foul trouble. So we got to correct those 2 things.
Your motto, all in. How will this win help you guys as you guys continue to close out the rest of the season?
It's going to help us tremendously. We got to have everybody on the same page, on the same shelf, and I think we've gotten that. So we got to keep it going, though.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
So much.
Michaela Tollivert had 15 points today for you guys. We talked earlier just how important she is to the team and how she is the example. How does her performance today help her going into the rest of the season and help the Panthers?
Well, you know, we've come to rely on Michaela, and she came out and played really well today. It was a tough 15 points. They was really banging her physical in the paint, but she did what she needed to help us get this win today.
What does it mean to you and to this team to not only secure this win here in front of the Convo in your last home game of the season, but also here on Senior Day for your seniors?
It's a phenomenal crowd. I think our seniors went out in style, but this is our process. We make no excuses about what our process is. We got to keep showing up, keep flipping the coin.
Awesome. Thank you, Coach.
Georgia State, a 1-point lead over the visiting Mountaineers of Appalachian State, 38-37. Dave Cohen courtside along with Madison Cruz. Got a good one, and it's the Cesar Edwards show here in the first half.
I was going to say, it's not senior day, it's Cesar day. He has 18 points in this first half, which, if you want a comparison, against Old Dominion on Thursday, where he broke his career high and earned his 6th double-double, he only had 13 points in the first half. So he's going well beyond what he initially did on Thursday.
Thanks, guys. One big player that's having a standout game so far for the Panthers is Clash Peters. Good to see him back on the court for the Panthers. I talked to head coach Jonas Hayes about him, and he told me he's the emotional soul of their team. He's a very physical player, and he's vocal not only on the court but in the locker room. And he's so thankful to have him back and glad that he's healthy, because he's a leader not only on the court but also on the bench. The amount of times I've seen him jump up, be one of the first people to stand up to help support his brothers out there on the court. For the Panthers, Crystal Henderson is the emotional leader of this team. She is not only their playmaker, she is their leader on the court. Head coach Gene Hill told me last week that when this team is more involved into the game, it's because of her. They ride on her energy, and that's something that they've known since last year. The sophomore point guard has started every game since her freshman year, so Coach Hill and his staff made it clear she doesn't have the luxury to sit back. She has to lead from day one. And as the season has progressed, Coach Hill has seen her grow into this role, becoming a steady vocal presence her team needs on the court. Thanks, guys. I had a chance to catch up with Jonah Hayes earlier before the game, and I asked him about their motto for the season, all in. He told me this is something that they have had since the beginning of this season, and he said that the team all has the same goals and they want the same end, but we have to be all in getting to that goal. Every single one of them has to march in the same direction, be on the same page of the same book. Coach Hayes says that you've got to have the right people on the bus in the right seat, and we're going to be all in.
Well, they're all in tonight here against the Warhawks, leading it by 30, 79-49.
Thanks, guys. ULM head coach Keith Richard announced December 20th, 2024, that he would be retiring as the Warhawks head coach at the end of the 2024-25 season. He inherited the program after it was barred with a whole bunch of sanctions, and he was able to rebuild the program and was able to lead them to 4 post-game appearances in 5 years. He was named the Warhawks head coach in 2010 and accumulated 300 victories as head coach. He's glad that he is ending it where it all started for him, right back at ULM.
Georgia State and Georgia Southern. Maddie Cruz has an update on Clash Peters.
Hey guys, had the opportunity to check in with the coaching staff just before halftime, in between a little bit of the marks. Still no official word on what exactly happened to Clash Peters. He's still being looked at right now. Won't know a little bit more maybe until later on in the half, so we'll keep you guys updated if I know anything more.
Back here at the Georgia State Convocation Center, we got a good one here. In-state rival, Georgia State, Georgia Southern. And wouldn't you know it, the first 20 minutes, we're tied at 38. Dave Cohen joined by our sideline reporter here courtside, Madison Cruz. And we got a good one. You never know what to expect when you get Georgia State, Georgia Southern, but you always know what to expect. And we've seen a great first half.
Absolutely outstanding. I think looking at the crowd as well, just the energy that they're bringing, being courtside, getting the chance to hear it in between certain takes, in between free throws, it shows how passionate this rivalry is between both Georgia State and Georgia Southern. You have a lot of away fans behind us, a lot of home fans here today to support the Eagles and the Panthers.